Hello, welcome to a Smite Conquest gameplay. Post playing, this is me going over my gameplay, critiquing it, explaining what I'm doing. Now here I'm starting off with health pots mainly, with mana. And here I'm checking to see what my teammates are building to find out just how confident or incompetent they are. I don't know why Scotty decided to build Death Knoll, but you should be building Firing Dagger because Firing Dagger right now is just too amazing. Simple as that. So I hear help, screaming help. I'm wondering what the hell is my team doing, and my team are going straight to mid harpies left. I normally would not do this. I normally would just go straight to damage, as you can see I'm going here. Get damage and then go straight to lane. I normally skip boss. There's a reason for this because it slows you down. You want to get lane as fast as possible and just clear the wave. But in this case, because no one else is there and I can't clear the camp quickly, I decide to go and help Hell. The downside to what SHAREfactory is doing is the fact that she is going to be very slow to speed and then very slow to get her camps. This is why it's not very good to do. I advise against it. I can see why people would do it, because if they think that it might be good. But it's really not, from my experience. You can see here Hell is healing the damage camp, the mana camp around. That is a technique which you can do. I would recommend you do that. Not only can you get more damage on the camp and take less damage, but it's incredibly efficient way of doing it. Now, the reason why you want to go straight into lane after doing the camps on duo and solo is because you want to keep as much lane pressure as possible. Basically what this means is pushing up the minions and pushing them back towards their tower. Now here I decide to take mid counts because quite frankly I'm out of position and I want to get the XP, and it's also worth my time to do so. So I'm on the way over to duo lane now. SHAREfactory, for some odd reason, I have no idea why, because she should be in solo to get the free fire creeps, is not there. Instead she's over here. I don't know, it would make more sense for SHAREfactory to, if I'm honest with you, go straight to mid lane because she's closer. Instead she's gone the very long way to come here to get a couple minions and almost died. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all. If you're doing that, you are farming wrong and you should not do it. Simple, small mistakes like that can actually add up. If you're wondering what I'm doing here, I'm basically trying to see what the enemy team is building. I see Artemis, I was building Firing Dagger, and SHAREfactory is not building Firing Dagger. I know that this means that SHAREfactory has a worse clear than Artemis, and you can see here, she's almost cleared the entire wave on her own. Yeah, that's just how good Firing Dagger is. Now, in a situation like this, where you're pushing someone under the tower, pretty much, you want to basically just keep the pressure. And you will see SHAREfactory is struggling to clear wave compared to Artemis, who will pretty much clear the road quicker than her. Now I'm thinking to myself, okay, let's go and check what counts we're doing, and SHAREfactory is being very, very aggressive. As you can see, she's taking a lot of poke, way more than Artemis. Watch what happens next, because this is a situation which you should try and avoid. I'm trying to get poked there on Artemis. Push her under the tower. If you push someone under the tower, they do not get the gold or experience. This is extremely good. You can see there that Artemis is almost clear. I'm trying to back off because I'm thinking Scotty's low. I'm worried the jungler is going to come in, and Scotty decides in her infinite wisdom to go in and try and get a kill. And dies. Situation that you should not be too overly aggressive. You should instead be trying to farm and just make sure that Artemis stays under the tower. I have no idea why SHAREfactory decided to do that, but it was a misplay. It was a mistake that put her behind, and now Artemis has free reign to go back and do whatever she wants. Now, if you notice what I'm doing here is I'm trying to work out which direction to go in. I can see that my team is doing various things. I can see that Noir is putting pressure on Nox, and I believe Nox is now going to kill Noir, so that's why I started to rotate over here. However, I am a little late. The only criticism I can make there of myself is the fact that I should have rotated sooner, because Nua was way too aggressive, and as you can see there, Saket was way too aggressive and died. That was a misplay on my part, but Saket shouldn't have been there.
Watch your step.
Nua should have been just farming and staying back, because Nox is all about poke, and again, God knowledge comes into it. I'm getting the damage count for Scotty because she needs it, and as a result we lose wave because Saket hasn't got the count for us as a jungler should do. You can see here that a couple misplays from my team and their team are adding up.
There was nothing you could have done there.
Hell manages to get a till, which is great. No, Hell died, so I think she died. I don't know.
Your middle tower is under attack.
You can see here I'm debating rotating because I haven't actually gone back yet because I've been busy trying to hold the lane.
Your right tower is
what I'm
under
doing
attack.
now is I'm rotating to mid lane. Unfortunately, though, I don't have the speed boots that I want, so I'm incredibly slow. Now, Saket is actually here, and you can see Saket has actually taken too much of a risk and well pays for it. What Saket should have done there is she should have backed off, got closer to the tower,
There was nothing you could have
or
done
waited for my teammate, and instead she died. Was that Nua? I actually can't tell. Now here I've decided that I need to go back, I need to get the boots to start my rotations because my team are just not winning lanes. So they need some assistance, they need Athena to do Athena things, and that's what I'll be doing. Now you see here on the on the first back, I pretty much buy wards. Wards are a magical thing that people do not buy. I have no idea. Everyone should be buying wards because if you buy wards, then you get information. Mid lane should have wards. Around the lane, you should have wards in Juro, here, and on the opposite side. If you're curious why you should have wards here, it's just the fact that then you know when they're going to get damage counts, when their ball's up, and then you can steal it if you have too much lane pressure.
Should have brought your
Now,
skis.
Scotty decides to go and engage. She doesn't get anything from it. What she should have done is cleared the wave because Artemis is here poking people. If you cleared the wave, then you wouldn't have get aggroed by the minions and you wouldn't take extra damage while you have two gods in front of you. This is another mistake that I see a lot of players making. One tip I can give you is to focus on the archers because they have the less health. And you can see here that Scotty just goes straight in even though she is probably likely to die. And again, she's being a bit too overly aggressive. I'm trying to block here as best as I can, but she's just staying there. She should have backed off like way sooner. But again, too aggressive out of position. You can see just that like small misplays are adding up. A lot of people I've noticed will not do this, and you can see that because she didn't back off sooner, all it needs is a small jungler to come and jank her. Now, I did place a ward there to try and stop that, but unfortunately she walked straight past it pretty much in the other direction. Now, Saket has come straight in. Saket shouldn't have came in. I don't know why. You can see I'm trying to peel as desperate as possible. Saket just stays, gets trapped, and then just watch this. Saket stays very low, and then clears the wave. Saket probably should have backed off because that's incredibly risky. All it took was Nija to come back in and then kill Saket, and that would have been 2 kills. If you're curious what I'm doing there, I was trying to go and place a ward because I wasn't sure where tier was. I was trying to place a ward at their boards. You can see here I'm now going back. Now, the next sequence of events should be pretty interesting and funny. Well, they were funny in my opinion. What you're about to see again is our position being too overly aggressive and not farming and just getting completely out-poked. And watch what happens.
There was nothing you could have done there.
Yes, your left tower is under attack. Your middle tower is under attack.
Nija made a complete mistake by being too aggressive and then paid for it and saying thanks for some odd reason. It was actually her fault, her misplay.
An ally has been slain.
She's losing lane to Nox. She shouldn't be at the front. She should be staying back. So I have no idea why she was spamming thanks, but in that case it's her fault. I don't know why. But that's something I've noticed with the community. People will not notice small mistakes where they are making misplays. Now you can see here, we do not have a jungler currently because she was back at base. The wave's still pretty much up. She's under-leveled compared to everyone else because she died a couple times and she hasn't been doing her rotations properly. If you actually watch what she's doing for this gameplay, you will see that she's very, very slow. She isn't actually going to where she is needed in time. And she's basically out of position constantly. A lot of like the jungling is pretty much being done by me. Now this suggestion here is extremely risky because we do not have any sort of vision at all, especially at mid lane. Mid laner should have a ward up coming straight out to the right side. For some odd reason, Sakat has decided to tank it as well instead of me and initiate it on. But I don't know.
Look, a shooting star.
Now, the one downside to that play though was the fact that we did lose mid lane. We did get Gold Fury. So it's a trade-off, but it's a trade-off nonetheless that you probably shouldn't do. Now I can hear disappear into Cosmos and Nox then backs off because she hits me. If you're curious why I actually did the dash, it was because I wanted Nox to back off and put less pressure on.
Attack middle lane.
Now I'm trying to get Sakat to actually come and help, but Sakat has backed off again because Sakat, I think, lost her health and again didn't rotate properly. Now what I'm doing here is I'm trying to body block and initiate, but I can't. So instead I decide to back off. This is because I'm deciding in the back of my head that it's much better to try and defend the tower and get the lane as opposed to try and engage when they're not likely to let me engage. Now Scotty here should have probably ulted when I taunted in, but instead she decides to ult at the wrong time and Tyr has his escape up. That was actually a good play by Tyr. He has his escape, he can get out of that. So yeah, Scotty again though doesn't clear the wave properly. I take a bunch of aggro. Ninja is doing work and there we go.
That should cover my vital
Now,
parts.
I understand a lot of people are probably going to be curious why I keep checking the scoreboard every now and again. There is a reason. I'm actually trying to counter build against the enemy team. I'm also seeing what they're doing, what my teammates are doing, what scores I'm trying to work out, like what's going on. I'm also trying to work out if people are buying wards and if I need to counter ward. One of the things that you will probably have noticed by now is the fact that I'm the only person warding. Now, I can only place 2 wards down at a time and no one's here to actually protect that, and Scuddy for some reason has, I don't know where she is, but Artemis pushed that up completely and Scuddy was there. I don't know, maybe I watched that wrong. No, I was right. Scuddy was off rotating somewhere, doing something, and she let Artemis keep the lane pressure up, which allowed Artemis to pretty much get that. You can see, again, small plays make a big difference. She should have stayed in lane and should have just kept the lane frozen and poked. She didn't. Instead, she allowed Artemis to get a free wave clear. And there we go. And right tower is now under attack by minions. I'm trying to see if solo lane is over there, but no, they're not. I was going to ult over to help, but again, we lost it. One of the other things you can also take note of as well is my jungler isn't rotating properly. Camps are still up, etc. I'm surprised, honestly, that their jungler did not take advantage of this, because it's pretty much a free lunch to get ahead. You can pretty much steal everything. And there goes our jungler. Now, and there goes Scotty. Now, I'm pretty sure at this stage now, Scotty has levels over what isn't as under leveled compared to Artemis. Now, here there's a trap, I go like that, and then just avoid it. You can see I'm going for the archers again. It is the quickest way to clear wave. That's why I'm doing it. You should be going for archers first because they have the lowest health and they do the most damage, and then you should be going for the front line. It's much clearer. It's much easier to clear. Now I can see that Artemis is going to get the tower, but I was more concerned about trying to help Nija, but I think Nija pretty much lost it. And you can see here I'm trying desperately to kill Artemis, but I just don't have enough damage and follow-up. A good jungler would have actually been there, and as you can see, I'm about to get initiated on and my team are nowhere near me. This is one of the biggest problems supports will have. They will initiate on people and people will not come to their aid. That was a free kill pretty much for Saket, but Saket wasn't there. Saket was, I don't know where. I didn't actually take note where she was. Correction, Saket was actually over in solo lane, which was actually the wrong place for her to be. She should have been where I was. She could have potentially got a kill, or at least helped me. What you're about to see very shortly is a continuation of this trend where people's timing and positioning are just off. They are not in places they need to be. They're very slow to battles, and as a result they are basically just being picked off one by one. This is the biggest thing to learn when it comes to Smite, is basically when to engage, when to disengage. A lot of people struggle with this. I have no idea why. To me, unless I can get a kill within the next 10 seconds or so and I can safely do it and get away, it's really not worth engaging. And what you're about to see here is why you should be warding and just how important it can be.
Killing spree!
Now, I am the only person warding on my team, which is a big no-no. Everyone should be warding. And watch. Now, I'm pretty sure my team have realised what's going on, the fact that the Gold Fury is being taken, but no one's over here to contest it apart from me.
The bigger they are.
And that's a Gold Fury still. Now, this is bad manners to laugh, but unfortunately, due to a team like this, laughing's really worth it. And Nija have realised that Nua is on the way over to Gold Fury a bit too late to the party and is about to pay the price. Once again, timing. If Nua uses that opportunity to push up the wave and did it safely and realised that I was disengaging and she disengaged, she would have been fine. Or if she came in and followed up with me, could have probably got something out of it, but instead she decides to go in a bit too late and get picked off with 3 people.
Unstoppable!
And you can just see here the situation is just getting worse and worse. My teammates are engaging when they shouldn't be, when they're outnumbered. This is another thing as well I have noticed people will do. They will think that they are the strongest god in the entire game and will engage at the wrong time. And you can see how I go in, I can see 3 people here and I decide, you know what, I'm out. But what does Scotty do? Instead of like disengaging, as I've just pretty much given her a big hint to disengage, she decides to still engage even though she has the disadvantage and level disadvantage, and she's dead. I don't understand why you would do that. To me, it looks like you're going to lose that battle. I don't know why. At this stage, I'm thinking, you know what, it's just better surrender. We cannot win. We do not have any objective apart from mid lane. Duo is completely dead, and then again being picked off, and you know what, I decide, screw it. This is one of those games where it's time to surrender. Supports basically come down to engaging and then waiting for your teammates, and no one's here, so I decide to disengage. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and I hope this has been useful.
Yes.